Hello, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully, you can hear me. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Welcome to a freebie. This is going to be different than my other streams. I'm starting to do this. Hang on a second. Look, there you are. Who needs help with websites? Who needs help with their, what is it called? Their business? I'm here for everything. This is during the day. I've got 0 people watching. That's good. All right, keep going. Let's go to window. Collect all windows. Comments and reactions. Bring them all together. Really? Arrange all windows. There we go. They're all there. We got them now. Okay, window. How many people are watching? 1. We've got 1 person watching. So this stream is going to be about, hang on. Hang on, comments and reactions. I gotcha. Perfect. We're streaming everywhere. What we're trying to do is, I've noticed things getting a lot worse with websites because of Google switching over to, Google lost their domains, or didn't, they got rid of their domain business. So they gave it to Squarespace, which is bad news for everybody. Everybody who's joining, this is just a question and answer. If you have domains, a website, if you're confused about things or are stuck somewhere and want to figure out how to get out, if you're having a problem with like, hey, my mail's not routing, or I'm here, I had a meeting get canceled. And so I have now a free hour and a half. So instead of just, getting caught up, I figured I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yeah, so there's a lot of people here on, I'm streaming everywhere. So not so much on Twitch, but on TikTok and on Facebook, because I'm streaming everywhere. You have people that are having difficulty with things, with domains. Like, hey, I need help with either securing a domain, or I've lost a domain, or my domain's not connected, or I've lost access to my website. I'm here for all of this. So I'm going to see if I can find somebody here on, I wonder if this will stop the stream on TikTok if I do this. I hope it doesn't. It might. Shoot, it might do that. I don't know how to reach out to people. If anybody knows how to use TikTok, let me know. Hello, everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these up on I'm going to put the text windows up on the screen. So let's go. We're going to create a new scene. I'll show you how to do this. I'm going to do this on the live stream with everybody. I'm going to say new stream, new scene. You can't even see what I'm doing. It's over there. Let's get rid of this. My desktop looks beautiful. Isn't that nice? Kevin, what is going? Roop, I really appreciate you popping by. Here's the deal. You're on Facebook too. Wow, that's weird. I thought you would be on, you're always on X, Twitter for some reason. If you have any questions, I know you had some questions, but you get one-on-one support with me because you sex me up. But anyways, Kevin, if you have any questions still remaining from your domain problems, let me know. That's what this is about. I'm just trying to help people get situated. Let me put let's do a new scene. Hang on. God dang it. Felt the chat is easier on Facebook. It is. It generally is. And Twitter is really, Twitter. Twitter's really interesting to me because, yeah, you can't even see my face. Hang on a second. Let me get back over here while you can see me. Twitter's really weird because I had the most followers on a live stream there. Like I don't know what happened. And it wasn't a ton. It was like 10 total on Twitch or Twitter. Good Lord, I can't get these names right. So Twitter had the most people watching my live stream, and I'm like, what the heck? I was on Twitch, I was on YouTube, and I was on TikTok, and the most views I got was on Twitter for some reason. Anyways, bottom line is, I'm just helping people any way I can with their solutions. This is all free. It's a free solution. So I'm going to put a couple things up here. I'm going to create a new scene, new empty scene. Look how empty that is. It's so bland. There's nothing there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture from my desktop, and so everybody knows what the stream's about. There it is. Look at that. Look how big that is. You're seeing this happen in real time. You guys are watching me develop this in real time. So this is a free live stream. Not that I charge for this service. Anyhow, normally I answer questions all the time. I don't want to cover up my game stuff. I'll put that over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and share. I'm going to get me as a little person. Just bear with me for a second. I want that. Hello. Look how tiny I am. I'm tiny. And I'll put me there. So we'll just have you balanced out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to share another screen, and I will share it tall, and I will share TikTok. Yay! There's the chat for TikTok. You can see it. You can see how many people are here from TikTok. 0. But again, this is the live chat for TikTok. I'm going to reduce the size of that. Actually, I'm going to reduce the size of this whole window. Hold on, everybody. Just to make it a little bit more. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Wait, what the heck happened? Time out, everybody. Oh, my Lord. This is why I should do this beforehand, but you know what? I have an hour and a half. You're on my dime right now. I'm offering free advice to everybody here. If anybody has any questions about their website, their domain, their hosting agreement, why things are crappy now with GoDaddy and Squarespace, if you're having trouble, I mean Shopify, everything. I work on all of it. And I'm not trying to get new clients. I am just trying to salvage an hour that I lost because somebody canceled a meeting at the start of the meeting. So there we go. We've got those two in there. I could probably make that a little smaller. See, you're seeing behind the scenes. This is like, I should be charging for this. This should be like a patron only. Kidding. All right, so that's there. Let's get this one more thing. Hello, everybody who just joined. We're doing a free live stream. If anybody wants help with their domain, website, like even business-wise, like if you're at work watching this, you can justify this to your boss and say, hey, boss, I'm not watching Twitch. I'm not watching the YouTubes. I'm not watching any of that stuff. I'm learning about business. Comments and reactions. There we go. So now everybody's in here. There you are, Kev. I see you. So anybody has questions about their website, domains, hosting, any stuff that you might be having difficulty with all of the changes going on with Google Domains. It's weird right now. Google Domains is Google has spun out their domains to Squarespace, which is bad news for everybody. And people are like, well, why is that? But because if Google's getting out of the domain space, they're getting out of it for a reason. They don't want to be bothered with it anymore. And like, what's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is if Google's not interested in domains anymore, what's the search engine for? Like, they're not sending it to websites, it's just information. So now like we knew this before, but Google's just an information site. So now Google has scrubbed all of the data it can from the websites that are out there. Its bots go out there and check for new content. That's what it's been doing and selling SEO, SEM. Now what's happening is that the deal with Reddit is to ensure that these large aggregates still get, like large forums, still collect most of the Q&A that Google will scrub for information. So Google's search results aren't going to show, unless you pay for it or are part of Google's business listing, it's going to become like the yellow pages. So you're going to have to pay for pretty much everything on Google, but the domain things tells me they don't care about websites anymore. It's that Michael Jackson song. They don't care about, I'm trying to think. They don't care about us, but they don't care about DNS. That's so bad. That's dumb. All right, so now I'm down in the corner. So now what I can do is I can share my screen. That's silly. What is that? Hello, Sam. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying, what the heck is that doing? Why is it sharing that screen? Primary display. Thank you. Why am I in the corner? Get out of there. So Sam, what I'm doing right now, hello, Donnie, I hope that's not Donnie Duco. Donnie Doodlebug 2, welcome. Sam, so here's the deal. I had a meeting canceled today, so now I'm trying to figure out what to do for this next hour and a half. They don't care about domains. That's probably much better. They don't. And you're right. You're much quicker than I am. So, hey, Sam, I hope you saw the last video about, what is it called? The Shawshank Redemption. That's my masterwork. Did you see my post in Discord? No, I have not been on Discord. That's actually a good idea, Discord. Maybe I should do a stream to help me figure out Discord. That's what I'm going to do. Hang on a sec. Here's my Discord. Oh my God. Come on, Discord. Not now. Not in front of guests. You're embarrassing me. Let's see. Inbox. General chatting. Rebirth in gaming. You have 5 messages. Twitter B. This is from 9 days ago. Are you in here? Where in the heck are you? I don't know where anybody is in this thing. Video game supper club, conduit, the den. Where are we? Where's your post in Discord? It better not be on the Double Plus thing. Nobody goes there. Oh my God, you did go there. I don't even check it. Went out and bought something I couldn't resist. They had it for £50, and I had to. Annoyed though, as I bought some. Oh, what is this? What did you buy? What did you buy? Come on, why are you not showing up? I'm waiting. I should have the Zelda music. Do I have it? Come on, let's get the Zelda music. Hello! I'm doing a stream real quick, but I'll be out. No, it's still taking forever. Open in browser? Come on. I'm here to help you with your tech support. I can't even figure out how to get Discord to work. Oh, that is, you know what? That is awesome. And I should check it more. But again, that's awesome. I will add it to the top of my list. What is going on? Why is this not opening? Am I going to have to restart Discord? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this up so I check it on the daily now. That makes me so proud, Sam. I'm so happy. It has poopy images for some reason. It says it didn't download them. None of these images are downloading. Hang on a sec. I'm going to quit Discord. I'm going to see if I can open it up my phone. No, it looks like all images are broken. That's not a you issue. Seems like a me issue. Again, anybody who's just joining the stream, it looks like we have, how many? We had 8 before. Come on. 5. Anybody who wants to talk about, like, any questions, if you have any questions about your website, your domain, your hosting, your situation, that's what I'm here for today. I'm here to help you out. This is a live stream, like a call-in show. I don't have to put you on. We can just talk it out. We can talk through it. Okay. Good morning, Pip. Hang on a sec. They had it for $50. I had to. I was annoyed. Yeah, it's still not loading up on here either. So this might be a Discord thing because it's both devices aren't loading. Hang on. I had to buy this. I couldn't resist. Failed to load image. If this is gonna like be like one of those things where it's pornographic, I don't need to know that. That's for Discord After Dark. Anyways, here's the deal. Oh. So if you heard that my phone has been recently doing this thing where it's picking up tags like NFC communications. Like either there's somebody might have put a tag on me or in my office or right outside, because I keep getting this notification on my phone that says new tag detected. I'm like, what? Why are they, what NFC is active there? Okay, I can see Lucas and Friends. I had to buy this, couldn't resist. Give me a second. They had it on offer for $50. I mean, it's there. It's loading. You can. Well, hang on a sec. It's loading. It's doing the same thing. Okay, let's check my messages. Let's do messages. We're going. Hang on, Pip. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm waving to you. You can tell I'm here. But it's doing the same thing. It's just not loading images. I'll restart. but it's doing it on both devices for some reason. Restart. Not sure where that is. Restarting. Okay, so anybody who's here on the live stream, I'm seeing a bunch of people jump in on the TikTok Live Center. Anybody has questions about domains, hosting, websites? You have WordPress? Do you have Squarespace? Do you have Shopify? I'm here to help you through those. And again, if nobody comes in, nobody comes in. That's fine. I'm just offering it out there. So if you're having difficulty with your hosting provider, you're having difficulty editing a website, you're having difficulty, or you're not even started yet, you want to know what to do, you might just end up telling me it's rebooting. So I'll let it reboot. But here's the thing. I use, for most of my web stuff, I use, and which you'll know, I use WordPress because, and you can see, by the way, this is awesome. Maybe I can help with this. Talk about my workflow a little bit while people are here. Arrange all windows again, move everybody to front. Where in the heck is my freaking, oh, you're killing me. Every time I move that to the front, it gets rid of it. Oh my God, you're killing me. Please stop. Please stop. Where's my live center? Thank you. Every time I move that, it overwrites the, oh, come now. Don't do that. I know you can see it. Don't be daft. Hold on, everybody. I am good with tech support. I swear it. Ecamm, Google Chrome, Live Center, perfect. There we go. Great. That's just fine. Why not? Why not make it? Why not resize that for no reason? Perfect. And again, I will clean this up when I'm. I'll clean. Oh my God! Did I just do that? You're a dope. Neil, you're a dope. That's the comments and reactions window. That's silly. That's why I was gone. Why is it pink? That's the question I wanted you to ask. That is 100% the question I wanted you to ask. I did that on purpose. Watch. I'll show you why. Ecamm, comments and reactions. There we go. Here's why that is pink. Because I use Google Chrome for most of my development stuff, strictly because I have a lot of plugins that help kind of expedite a lot of things. So hold on, everybody. I'm moving this down. Perfect. Okay. And again, I apologize for the haphazardness of the stream. I was not planning on doing this, and I don't have a, I didn't have a, what is it called? An overlay for this kind of stream. So here's the deal. Discord, okay, my phone just restarted. I'm going back on Discord. Everybody who's here, and it looks like we have 4 people here. We've lost 1. Discord kicked 1 person out. Discord. Show me my Discord. It deleted the app. Thank you. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Gaming Pip. I see ya. Messages. You got to do it. You got to do it. I see you. I've waved. I'm going back to the server. I'm going to see if it's on there now. It loaded 1 image. I see it. They had this for $50. Okay, I see the image. Hang on a sec. I see the image. It looks like a printout of box name 1080 snowboarding. No. What is this? This is the list from the other shop of the Nintendo 64 games they had in stock. You bought this. It's loading. I deleted the message and I'll send them separately. So again, I see the list of games. They have 1080 snowboarding for $20. That's a steal. They had Diddy Kong Racing for $10. Oh my God, that's a bigger steal. They had GoldenEye for, that's hilarious. That's GoldenEye for $5 is pretty much accurate. Legend of Zelda 18. This one's 38. Majora's Mask is 38. Okay, wait, what do we got? K-Dub, welcome aboard. We're helping people with website stuff. If you need help with anything, you let me know. All right, Pip, I'm sorry. It didn't show up. I'm going to check my messages one more time. I'm clicking it. It says 0%. It's loading. 0%. I was talking to the guy about Dreamcast being rare and hard to find here, and I mentioned you, and he's like, "Oh, that guy? I know that guy. He's internationally famous. That King of All Cosmos guy, he's amazing. He's the bomb diggity." All right, so I don't know if anybody uses Chrome as their primary. I mean, it's not the most optimal. Like Firefox is probably, in Opera. Opera and Firefox are probably the best ones right now. But I use this for development, and here's why. Up in this corner, up here, as you can see, can I zoom in on this? Yes, I can. I can totally zoom in on it. That's awesome. Okay. Up here in this corner, you'll see, again, if you use Chrome, there's this button, this icon, which will show you what accounts you have. Hang on a sec, back out of there. So I have, for this account, in this pink window, I control the Gmail account and a fake account that I've created. It's fake. Don't worry, it's not a client's account. But this button allows me to use this one browser window for those two accounts. Now, it's Pepto-Bismol Pink, so that I'm aware of what browser this is, because I changed the theme of this to be the ugliest color imaginable. Not that pink's ugly, but Pepto-Bismol Pink is definitely something that, hello, Mammy! Mammy Hood, thank you so much for showing up. I'm doing great. How are you doing? I wanted to talk to you. I'm so happy you're on here. I'm not following you anymore. I'm not following you, and I also noticed that I'm not following about 24 other people that I was following. Not sure what's going on, but I clicked follow on you again when we were on a live stream. I noticed it when we were on our radio's live stream. I clicked on follow you again. It said followed, and I went back again, and it says unfollow. It's not. It just basically says follow back. No idea. So I am trying. You'll keep seeing me follow you. If you see it, I'm not unfollowing you. Something's happening. I do not know what it is. And it's not just you. It's about 24 other folks as well. So, yes. So I'm explaining here, Mammy, this may not be your wheelhouse, but what I'm trying to do is help people. I had a meeting get canceled today. So I'm taking that hour, I'm trying to recoup it and help people with any web domain hosting support related issues. It can be even email. It can be email routing. So here's the deal. I'm going to finish up the Sam question. Why is this pink? And I'll explain that when you're in Google, and this might be old hat to everybody who's here, but this button will switch between the whatever account's logged in. So I'm logged in as my Bauer Graphics at Gmail. This is a kind of a collect, like a junk account. And I have a couple junk accounts here. However, when you look above that in here, now I've lost everybody. Now that I'm talking about Google Chrome, I've lost everybody. But there's another button up there. What the heck is that? There's two buttons. So the bottom one is to go between the local accounts, but the top one is to go among all of these individual accounts. So these are individual, these are entirely different accounts. So I'm going to go into Double Plus. This is my Double Plus account. It's black. I have a different icon for it. But now look at this. Ready for it, Sam? Get ready because it's going to blow your mind. When I open that, it's black. So now I know, because this browser's black, that I'm in Double Plus. Like, that is it. That's the graphic convention. If I go to in here, you can see the amount of accounts I cover in here. This is Double Plus, the Gmail account, whatever. I'm going to close that. But if I go up here and I open, let's just say I open, let's see which one I can open. Oh, these are all bad. You know what? Try this one. This one. It's yellow, right? And in fact, if I don't log into them, you can see that all of these are different because I know at a glance whose account I'm in. If I see something that is, if I'm working on a client's website, right, that is not, okay, got it, that is Pepto-Bismol Pink, I should not be working on anybody's account. If I see black, I know it's Double Plus. Everything else is colored to where I'm like, okay, I'm not loading customer data into my personal browser. So it's a way for me to work around, like very quickly look and see if I'm in the right browser, right? Because oftentimes I'll have, 60, 70 tabs open. I'm good. I wonder what happened. I noticed that too. It's all It is all good. I understand this is a TikTok issue. It is. And TikTok's driving me bonkers because I don't know if you've seen my post, but I am being restricted out the wazoo over there. I do not know what I've done to do that because I'm just putting up generic game content and I'm putting up comedy content. I can imagine my takes and my comments get moderated, but to see my posts get like completely shut down after 20 minutes is disheartening. It breaks my heart. And then to know that the people that I'm following, like you and Junk Love and a couple people that I really like, that I'm not following anymore, I'm like, are they just picking off my friends? What is happening? I can't help but take it personally. Okay, I've said it more than once. I'm going back to Discord on my computer. Discord, here we go. I'm going to see if it loads up because I had to shut it down. Let's see if it loads up. I know it's exciting. We actually had the Zelda music playing. Come on, let's do it again. We'll do it one more time. Come on, we got to open this up. We're doing it. It did it. We got it. We got the music. It worked perfectly. All right. That's crazy. Okay, so timeout. Wow. It only took us rebooting a phone and starting this up twice. And then you had to take it down and reload it. Said it more than once. Okay, so you couldn't resist. Now, what did you say about South Park? You said the case version, yeah, but again, there's so many copies of GoldenEye. We sold, when I worked at the game store, we were selling a copy of GoldenEye every day that I worked. And I worked in the Dreamcast era. We were still selling a copy of GoldenEye every day. My store was responsible for several thousand GoldenEyes, and so I know that that cartridge is in massive supply. There is no friend option. Yeah, I hear you, Mammy. Yeah, mine. So here's the thing. There are people that I have unfollowed who are messaging me. Like I have actively unfollowed them and they're still messaging me. I'm like, how is this happening? Like, it seems like I really do think that Junk Love or the Junk Love is correct. That this has been passed over to Oracle and this is just a handshaking problem where there are two systems at play. So I could have somebody followed on one platform, and then as it's going over to a new database, like if you were switching from a backup on Amazon Web Services in Chicago and an Amazon's backup in Austin, there might be some data mismatch between them, depending on, again, when that data was handed over. I think that's what's happening. Let's see. You were saying something about South Park. Give me 1 second. I want to see what, I got to go back to Sam here. I've been having picture problems with Discord. Hang on a sec. Oh no, you put it on the freaking Discord. You were talking about South Park. Hang on a sec. Give me a second. Hold on. They had it on offer, $50. I had it. Annoyed to have bought South Park. Okay, good. I was just hoping that you hadn't had a stroke, Sam, because South Park on here was made by Acclaim, and that is not good. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to, Mammy, my number one job, Mammy, hang on. Right after this, I'm going to attempt, if I log onto the account, it could kick me off the stream. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. But as soon as I'm done, I'm going to follow you again. I'm going to try. And I will send you a message as soon as I do, like, hey, to see if that locks it in. I do not know why it's doing it, and you're not the only one. So I apologize. Because I would like to share like some of the stuff that I'm doing with everybody. But when it says like, you can't message this person or you know, whatever, I'm like, it's frustrating. So here we go. It does show up. HDMI adapter. Let me see this thing. Look at that crazy plug. Look at it. Look how insane that plug is. That is hefty. Plugs are better in other countries. US has crazy plugs. But it also came with an HDMI. It does. Is that what that is? It looks like it has the red and white. Hang on a sec. Oh, it is. Wait a minute. It is. Dude, that HDMI adapter is worth some money. So 50 pounds for that? It is pounds, correct? There are two GoldenEyes in that list, one without a manual and one with no box. The other is with a manual and a box. The difference between those is 25 pounds. It's not worth it. The box and the manual are not worth it because the collector's value of it is so slight. Even if you have the box and the manual, you're not going to recoup that cost. So it's good just to have. And that's a guy who has, I still have all my boxes and instruction manuals and I fretted about, oh, this one got creased or this one got, doesn't make a difference. If there's a ton of them in circulation, that's a gouge. That extra, like doubling the price is gouging. I'm missing a wire for the SCART lead. Yeah, this one right here. I see that. Of course. Okay, I can't send you any more messages. Okay, yes, apparently I'm only allowed 3 and I used them all. I'm again, your priority 1. You're missing a brown lead. I don't even know what a brown lead is. In the US, we have, I think I have it here. Yeah, I do. Oh, God. In the US, see if I can get that off. Nope, I'm not going to take it off. We have yellow, red, white, but brown lead. Is that a ground? What the hell is a brown lead? Don't even know what that is. But yeah, that's good. You know what? How's the action on the joystick? Have you been able to plug it in? Does this work? Hopefully it all works. Take a look at this real quick. I'm going to zoom in on that so everybody can see it. Okay, 1080 snowboarding. That's 100% worth it. That's the game right there. I would manual box $20, great deal. Diddy Kong Racing with no box $10. Again, if you can get these both for $20, that would be awesome. You don't need the box with that. Forsaken's good game. Gex 64. Geez, $25 for box and manual? No way. Zelda's Majora's Mask, Zelda Ocarina of Time. I mean, unless you wanted to make a little monument to GoldenEye, then maybe you can do that. Mammy, thank you so much for the likes. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your support. Seriously, you always do. And you're always super kind and nice on every stream, whether it's radios or my own. I appreciate it. And again, I'm so happy that you are aware that of the situation. I meant to do it in the last stream I saw you in with radio, but I didn't want to take that. I'm trying to follow. Super Mario 64. Again, this should be 10. Super Mario 64. Actually, shouldn't even be 10. Super Mario 64 is like the game to have on the Nintendo 64. Jeez, oh man. Oh God. Ocarina of Time's probably right. I think Ocarina of Time is probably going to be the most timeless one on there. It works. Took me a bit to get the HDMI adapter working. Interesting. Do you still have a different standard? We had 4:3 aspect ratio, and I think the UK had, like, you had different. We had NTSC and you had the PAL standard. Are you still using the PAL standard, or are you using 16:9? That's how old I am. It's all good. This is my job to encourage my friends. You are the best. In fact, I'm going to add you as a moderator. That's how awesome you are. Are you going to kick me out? Confirm. I've made you a moderator. Let's hope that helps. Okay, turns out it wasn't getting enough power. It ended up plugging the wire into power. Oh my God, that's scary. That's very scary. So the HDMI has its own external power source. That is odd. Okay, so hang on a sec. That is scary to me. External power freaks me out. Power, water, like there are certain things that I don't mess with. Gas, like natural gas, power, so electricity, and water, like plumbing. All 3 of them are horrific. And of course, we had all 3 of them going wrong in our garage. Water heater went out, spreading gas into the garage. Pipes broke, sending water out. And then it was right next to the junction box. So I'm like, we're all going to die. No, Mammy, it's my pleasure. All right, so here's the deal. I'm helping people with websites. I've got no questions because it's the afternoon. I was hoping that we would get people from work that would be like, I'm bored. I need to figure out how to do something. That is true. That is true, Sam. It is true. A fart is natural gas. So here's what I'm getting at. Let's see if I can get into, I was just working on a nonprofit, Big Village PDX. Big Village PDX. All right. So this is when I'm in the back end of a website. I'll cover that up. When I'm in the back end of a website, this is what it normally looks like for WordPress. But if you're using Shopify or Square or Wix, you're going to have a builder. That's how it works. But I don't even build websites back here anymore. Mammy, this might be interesting to you. Oh, Donnie's back. Donnie, you were the first person I ever saw this. If I highlight the live chat, it pops up Donnie Doodlebug. It pops up the name, which I didn't know before. I was impatient. So if you're using WordPress anymore and using website, as long as you're logged in, Big Village, this is a nonprofit I work with, and I don't feel bad showing this because I don't know if they're going to be around very much longer because their grant funding expired. So this might be their last year, so I'm fine with it. So what happens now when you have a website and a WordPress website? Stone Gardening, thank you so much. I'm just showing people how to work websites. If you have any questions, if you have any tech questions, heck, if you have any computer questions that I might be able to answer, I have a free hour because I had a meeting get canceled. So I'm answering any tech, website, domain related questions. Web pages generally, so web pages were difficult and they're still kind of confusing. But the tools nowadays are amazing. I've been using WordPress since I'm old, 2005. And the thing about WordPress that is so big is that it has this massive community of developers and a massive amount of support. And so the benefit is if something goes wrong, it's likely gone wrong for 1,000 people before you. So here's why I like WordPress so much. So you could see I was logged into WordPress. This is what everybody assumes is WordPress. They're like, oh my God, look at this. I can't make sense of this. Right, because it's kind of confusing. And you can go, I'm going to go into a post and I'm going to edit these posts, right? Or I'm going to edit pages. You're like, oh, this is how you edit pages. No, not anymore. Once you're logged in, you can actually just click on a button to do what you do in Wix and Squarespace. This page, it looks exactly the same. I just click that button, but now everything is editable. So I can change out the entire thing if I want. I don't want to do that. But that's how web pages are being edited right now. And you can see stuff that's hidden behind there. But you can edit pages straight like Microsoft Word. And that's how I have clients when they want to do a website. I'm like, how comfortable are you with Microsoft Word? And they're like, I can use Microsoft Word. I'm like, great. Write everything in Microsoft Word. Because now what you can do is if I wanted to create a new post, I could say new. I'm not even in the back end. I'm not even in the back end. Let's go to the front end. I'm sorry. I'm in the front end. Let's go exit Visual Builder. I'm not going to save that thing I did. Okay. I can say new post. And I can do, this is the craziest thing. I can go ahead, new post. And if I'm in Microsoft Word, let's get this. Hang on a sec. Let's go to a web page. Let's go to, let's see. I don't even go to web pages anymore. How terrible is that? Did you play Revolt? Oh my God, I loved Revolt. Are you kidding me? I love Revolt and Micro Machines V3 on PlayStation. They are incredible games. So let's go to, oh shoot, come on, give me a website. Can anybody give me a website? Because I can't think. A website that you go to. Yes, Mammy, yes, you can. And so I want to go to a website like, let's just have something that has content. I don't go to websites like this. I go to aggregate. So let's go to, oh God, I don't want to do this. Think about a website you go to. Oh, Stone Gardening, if she's still here. Plant husbandry. Okay, plant breeding. What is plant breeding? Yeah, whatever. So I can take this site. Let's hope it has something on it. No, I don't want to get updates. Okay, see how this is all laid out? I would just copy that if it was Microsoft Word, right? So let's go text edit. You can see this is what it looks like. I just copied that, and that's what it looks like. Now, if I edited that in Microsoft Word, I would highlight that. So if I have written something, you can copy something out of a website, or you can just type it in Microsoft Word. Then you're back over here, and you just, ready? Paste it, and it pastes it just like it would in Microsoft Word. So when I preview it, this is a post, so it's going to look like garbage, but you get the idea. You can just copy and paste your stuff in here. Now, if you want to put an image in, you can do it where you can just say add media here, add any image you want. And again, I'm going super fast because I'm just showing you how I can do it. Let's put the one I put in here, desktop. Perfect. It's loading. There we go. Insert into post. Oh, it's too small. I don't like that. So I can do this. I can go add media, make it full size. Give me a second. I'm doing it the hard way. I'm actually doing this the hard way. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm like, it's super easy. Look how hard this is. Okay, so now when I preview it, you'll see the image in there. But that's hard. That's not easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I give a client a website now, I give them a bunch of templates. So the templates usually have no sidebar on the right. It's full width, whatever. Let's go preview. So now that bar on the side goes away. And then, see, I've got two here. Let's get rid of that. Oh, that's terrible. That looks awful. So ready? I'm going to enable the visual builder. How much does this cost? It's free. It comes with it. This is all free. That's why I offer it. Like, this is why I tell people to use WordPress over Divi, or sorry, over Squarespace, Wix, and what GoDaddy charges. Like, GoDaddy is, they're all turning into these monsters. Because here's what's going to happen with, this is the monster. This is the freaking Cthulhu in the room. We talked about it at the start. Google's getting out of domains. So they handed it over to Squarespace. Why is Google getting out of domains? Because they see that their money is made in scrubbing content from larger sites. So yes, they are ripoffs. But here's why it's going to get real bad. Because GoDaddy and Squarespace, they're already bad. They're trying to lock people into services and fees that they can't get out of long term. Like, we can lock you in for 3 years for like $300. It's super cheap. You never have to worry about it. The idea is to lock you in, make changes to their terms and services, and when you're trying to get out, it becomes next to impossible. And most people don't have the desire for it. But here's where it's going to get really bad, because Google is just crawling sites and pulling that data down. That's what they're going to do. That's what Bing's doing. That's what ChatGPT is. AI is going to be driving a lot of results, and people are going to go to forums like Reddit and these larger forums to search for answers or to communicate. Google just did a deal with Reddit, so it's pulling that data down. So what interest does Google have in getting your little website promoted? Zero. Google doesn't care about it anymore. So now what Squarespace and Wix and GoDaddy are going to do, they're going to be like, okay, we know that the writing's on the wall, so we're going to try to get as much out of these people as possible. You're going to get SEO, SEM ads. You're going to get them like, hey, would you like to amp up your traffic? Have you noticed your traffic dropping down? It's because these rules are changing. Well, we can add you onto this pack for $59, and you get this 3 months where you get added like a bump. And all they're doing, like every dollar you put into Squarespace or Wix or GoDaddy, 99 cents of that goes to promoting Wix, Squarespace, and GoDaddy. The only 1 penny goes to advertising you. DuckDuckGo, yeah. Again, websites are a thing that's starting to wane. There's going to have to be something that replaces them. We'll see what that is. So here's the deal. We just had a post, right? We just made this post, and we're like, I don't like the way this looks. It's going around the side. So I can edit it like that. I can do that stuff, but I don't want to do that. You can take these, if you're building a website like we are building, now I can see it all. So I'm going to take this image, I'm going to delete it. Delete. I'm going to delete all that text. There we go, plant. So now, this is just the text that we copied and pasted. If I want to put an image in, there's multiple ways I can do it. This is the way I'm recommending. So here's, and I explained this to a client before. This is granular, but I'm going to try to explain it quickly as possible. This is color coded. So when you see blue, like blue is the highest level. And again, builders are different. There's like 500 builders. Hello, Bryant. Wow, Brian Jackson's in the freaking chat. Welcome. Holy cow. I have not seen you in forever, Bryant. So here's the deal. Helping people with website support now because I had a canceled meeting. So if you have any questions about domains, websites, hosting, whatever, email, I don't even care. Everything. I'm all good. So there are hierarchies. So whatever builder you're in, this one's color coded. So blue tells me this is the whole text area. Blue is the whole thing. Like it's the section. So if I got rid of the section, there's nothing there anymore. So I think I can go backwards. I can. So blue is the section. Blue is the section. Green, so these are tiers. You're just looking down, right? So blue is you got to create a section. And green is how you want that to be formatted. Do you want it 2 across? Do you want it 4 across? Do you want it like set up whatever? So I can set that up in whatever capacity I want. If I wanted it 50-50, I could do that and have an image over here. I can just do it full screen, whatever. It doesn't make a difference. So blue is the blue is the, if you think of it like blue is the entire TV tray, like the metal print of a TV tray. The green is the machine that presses all of the little serving areas of the TV tray. And then this gray is the food that goes in there. So are you going to have Salisbury steak in this one? Are you going to have a fish in this one? So top is just a blank sheet. This is the impressions of that sheet. And again, this is terrible metaphors, but the idea is this. So if I wanted to create an image that went above it, I can just add an image, click on a little, because it's the food. It's the food. So I'm not adding a blue section. Hang on a second, out here. I'm not adding a new section because we already have the plate, the tray. We're not adding a new divot for, we're just going to add more food. So I want to add an image to it. So we're going to say an image, and I will add whatever image I want. I'll just say Portland Farmer Market. Why not make that full size? Perfect. Great. And now you're like, but that's on the bottom, you idiot. Well, you're right, and that stinks. So what you should do is go in there and do it right, or just grab this little guy and drag it to the top of the thing. So you can drag and drop it now. It's like, you can drag and drop it. Or for me, I don't even like looking at the stuff on the screen. I look at it as just sections. So there's the image and there's the text, and I can reverse them if I want and flip them around. So this is the versatility of builders these days. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need Squarespace and Wix, because all they are a builder that charges you monthly fees. WordPress is free. Like, WordPress is totally free. And this is essentially free. You pay for it once and you never pay for it again. So this is the kind of Illustrator without the program. Yes, these builders are seriously, like, if you have Canva that can replace graphic designers, these builders replace like your code engineers. Like the code engineers are doing this. The music for Revolt was so good. That is true, 100%. So here's the thing. You can mass edit these pages however you want, and then you can create templates for them, and then have your, when somebody wants to create a new post, have them write it into Microsoft Word, and then cut it and paste it into a new page that's already templated. So, and then that adds it to the home page, which is the coolest freaking thing ever. Like, I love that. So when somebody, well, I have another site. Let's do this. Let's go to SBNA. And again, these are all fine. If I go here and you see this is website, I didn't design this, but I put it in a builder for them. So if I'm here and they have this section called resources and references, right? So if you hand this over to somebody and they're like, how do I put something in resources and references? You would say, like, you can, I can log in, can I? Let me try to log into this thing without everybody seeing my password. This is cool. I love this. This is one of my favorite things. All right, I'm logged in. All right, let's go to SBNA website. And you can see that little black bar on the top. So now I'm logged in. Watch this nonsense. So this is all here. If I enable Visual Builder and someone wants to change this little section, they have to go in, like somebody who didn't know what they were doing, right? Like, you hand this website off to somebody, they'd go down here and they'd be like, okay, I've got to get an image and I got to put this copy in there and I go, whatever. I'm like, no, that's not how you do it anymore. That's because you would have to make an article, like a resource or a reference. You'd have to make the article, then you would have to edit the home page. And it's like, a lot of stuff can happen any step of that way. So now what you can do is you can go to SBNA, and I have it set up so when someone creates a new post, let's go to new post. So just to make sure everybody knows what I'm doing here, sbna.net. If you go down here, they have 3 resources. It's fire protection, Lane County, SBNA scheduled events. If I go here and I create a new post, and again, I have templates for all of these for them, but I call a new post calling new post faux reels. Then I would copy the stuff that's in there. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. That's not what I want. I want this. Plant breeding. So I just put this plant breeding thing in here, right? So I just copied and pasted that in there. Copy. The excerpt, so I just copied and pasted. So a new post, I call it whatever I call it. I'm just going to call this plant breeding. Plant breeding, so you know what I'm doing. Breeding. And then I'm going to go to here, and I'll make a little tiny, I'll just copy the first thing out of there. Advancements in plants, whatever. There. That's it. So this page is created. This page is essentially done. And now the way it shows up on the home page is that you tag it for whatever section it's supposed to be in. Oh, you can't see it. It's over here. Hold on. So there's categories. So I can categorize that as a home page item. There we go. So if it goes on the newsletter page, it gets tagged as that. They only have to go to one page. They just go to the make a new post page, use a template, and then just check a box. And I'm going to put a nice little, I'm going to make this all pretty. But that's, again, this is so much, and you can edit it right on the home page, or you can do it this way. I'm just like saying, I'm trying to minimize the amount of time you've spent on a site. Like, focus on the content. Don't focus on like learning tool sets, because they'll change. For God's sakes, TikTok has changed 7 trillion times. Kuma! I'm showing everybody behind the scenes of how to develop websites. And if you have questions, what's up with you? Always happy to see you pop up. I always feel like I can't add to the conversation when you're doing those animation, like people don't remember animation streams. I always feel like I'm an albatross in there. Like, I will slow you down. So I just kind of sit back and watch. So you always do a great job out there. So here's the thing. If you have any questions about websites, domain, hosting, I had a meeting get canceled. I have about a half an hour left. But here's what I'm doing. I'm trying to show something pretty crazy. So I just copied and pasted. All I did was this. I copied and pasted text from Microsoft Word into here. Just made some quick changes. Get ready for this. Now, if I want an image to show up, I'm going to attach an image. I'll just let's throw an image that we know is not, it's a fox. It's a turkey. I want something that's rectangular. No, there we go. Perfect. This looks terrible. This looks like, good Lord, that is an ugly looking image. Hang on a sec. It looks like, this is not dog poop. It's a mycon. It's a mushroom. So hang on a sec. Ready? So all I did, I clicked on the little plus and said new post. I added the title and I copied and pasted that and copy and pasted that. And then I checked where it's going to go and the image. It's just like boop, boop, boop. You just go down the page. Boop, boop, boop. Now, when I say publish, that now becomes a page. So it's a page. It's going to look like garbage because it doesn't follow any template. It's just a page, right? But now when I go back to the home page, it's going to show up right there because I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do anything. It just shows up automatically because it's the newest post. It's the newest resource. And I can turn it off anytime I want by clicking the, if I don't want it there anymore, I just uncheck it. Update. So now when I go on the website or someone's like, it's wrong. It's not wrong anymore. It's right. So that's, again, what I'm saying is Kuma sounds awesome. Mammy, Kuma's awesome. Saturday that is coming up fast, Kuma. Holy crap. It seemed like it was so far away when that first came up. Kuma's going to be doing a panel at MomoCon, and I'm shocked it's so fast. Yeah, because I'm going to GDC next week. If there's anything you need from me at GDC, I've got my big push there this week is to run into, okay, I've got some stuff going on at GDC. But I'd really like to run into, I don't know if RJ Michael's going to be there. I know Trip Hawkins' company is going to be there. So I'm hoping I get to run into RJ Michael and Trip Hawkins. Everything else, hello, Progressive. You would love this, Progressive. I'm helping people with their tech support. So I'm helping people figure out how to work on websites and get things worked out. So here's the deal. Now I just put this plant breeding thing in there. I'm going to delete that just in case somebody from this goes in there. Let's go to delete that. Move to trash, apply. Nobody needs to know about plant breeding here. All right, there we go. But yeah, like you can do amazing things with these builders these days, and you don't need Wix or Squarespace. So here's Kuma and Progressive. I do not know if you host websites. I don't know if you use Wix or Squarespace. I doubt you would. Even if you do, here's a little quick klaxon for everybody. Google is now out of the domain space. That happened last year. They sold it off to Squarespace. The big takeaway from that is that Google has no interest in domains or websites anymore. They're like, well, websites, they're lifeblood. No, the lifeblood for Google is information. It's content. So they've been sending bots out since Google's inception to scrub websites for new information, pull it down, make it part of the search algorithm, whatever it is. So here's the thing that's happened with Google getting out of domains. They handed the reins over to Squarespace. Terrible. Already terrible. And they made a deal with Reddit. So that's kind of the future of how Google sees people using the internet. They're going to go on large forums, they're going to go on these massive content farms and ask for, like, find communities there. So Google just made a deal with them to scrub that content. So any information that's up there, any information that's exchanged goes into Google's Gemini algorithm. So Squarespace, Wix, GoDaddy are aware that Google is no longer really taking interest in websites. The selling off of that business is a major red flag. So now what Wix and Google and Squarespace are going to be is like, we need to get as much money in as possible. So they're going to be like, you're not ranking up in the Google ads or SEO, SEM anymore. You're going to have to dump more money into it. So they're going to try to get you with IT support. They're going to try to get you with services. They're going to try to get you these things, but it's just a sun burning out. And so they're going to try to screw as many people as conceivably possible in that process, just to keep their pricing, like their stock price up. The companies are all, they're not, they're part of a, I've been working on websites for 30 years. No, not 30 years, 96? Oh God. 30 years, close to 30 years. That's old. I'm so old. And I'm telling you, I've worked on them this long. I ran a trio of websites, HollywoodVideo.com, Reel.com, and GameCrazy.com. Like, I ran it at the largest Fortune 500 corporate level. Yes, Video Rental was a large company back in the day. I have this information. Like, I know what I'm talking about. So when I see these moves, and I see like a lot of people like, oh, I'm just going to get a Wix and a Squarespace site, or I'm just going to do these things. Your fees are going to keep going up and up and up. Not only that, it's going to get harder for you to remove your stuff from there. Whatever site, whatever images, whatever you post there, it's going to get harder and harder to pull that back down. So the idea is, if you can, get out of it now. Find a way to collect and control your content now. So that's why I'm always pushing people to WordPress, because if you can get it hosted somewhere relatively cheap, and again, that's another conversation. EIG, monstrous company. Let me share that with you real quick. List of companies owned by EIG. This is just a nightmare. We've been dealing with this. Yeah, I'm leaving that site. I don't need to do that. EIG. EIG owns Bluehost, iPage, let's see, Cox Oil, what the heck is that? Domain Host, HostGator. You think these are all different sites? They're all the same. This is just some of them. Bluehost, Domain Host, Domain.com, HostGator, a small orange. Let's see, there's more than that. Diggity Marketing, EIG hosting brands. There's tons of these. Bluehost, HostGator, HostMonster, SiteGround. These are all EIG. And so what you're doing is, if you're like, I'm leaving, it's getting too expensive, I'm going to go to this other one. All you're doing is moving from one server to another. I've gone from Dreamweaver to, oh my God, yow. Progressive Geek is like freaking dropping the bomb. Adobe Dreamweaver. I used to have a box up there for that. Joomla. I've done Joomla. I've done Drupal sites. So you know what? I left. So I used Dreamweaver. That's the Adobe product. I did Joomla and Drupal instances, which are better security-wise, but the problem is the support. So I have WordPress with a bunch of third-party, this is terrible. I'm like, third-party services attached, like WordFence and security, like things that lock it down. So I believe in like 3 levels of security, and it's like server level, then it's server level, then domain level, and then site level. So I have those kind of blocked out. So that's why I have no problem with WordPress, because it's crimped 3 steps down. And of course we do all the updates. So if I'm doing any WordPress builds for people, like generally I'll help somebody get out of a WordPress jam. I'll help anybody get out of the situation they're in. But the reality is, like, if you're going to keep calling me because you're like, my site keeps getting compromised, I can't get access to my site, and it's not hosted in the proper way, like you're using Bluehost or HostGator. I keep trying to tell people when they're at Bluehost or HostGator or any of these sites, think of it like Russian housing, where there's like 8 million like apartment complexes, like in Chernobyl. There's just towers of like, all you see are just windows. There's towers of them. You're like, who lives in those? It could be like pornography, or it could be black market, or it could be just a regular site that's there. They're all on the same server. It doesn't make a difference. They're putting anybody on these servers. So your site, as secure as it could be right on the same path or same, gosh, IP as somebody doing nefarious business. And if that takes down the server, you're out of luck. Like the company that you work with could be like, we have redundancy and we'll put you back up. But your site's, you know, I'd rather rebuild a site. I wouldn't take a site from Bluehost or HostGator. I wouldn't back it up and then re-upload it on mine. No way. I would rebuild the thing from the ground up, because who knows what's in there, right? So, none. Welcome aboard. So again, if anybody had any problems about their hosting or like has questions about this, I'm very boring in this regard. Okay, there's more than this. This is subsidiary brands. There's a ton. In 2021, they merged with web.com. Oh, that's why. So EIG is now Newfold Digital. Okay. So, so it's worse. It's actually gotten worse since 2021. Okay. So EIG merged with web.com. What? Okay. Web.com, 2008 to present. Oh my God. Who do they own? Snap names. So it's basically domains. Register.com. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, it's going to get worse, because now these two, web.com and EIG, so pretty much almost everything that you're seeing marketed and promoted is owned by one of a very few companies. So Squarespace and Wix are fine if you're just putting a signpost up. Great, because you probably won't use it very long. Paying those fees is ridiculous every month. And of course, the stuff that you have to add on just to get it to function like a normal site. And if you're doing commerce, you probably need another, because you're going to need merchant account services, and you lose all muscle if you're trying to do merchant account services on your own. So you have to go through a third party. Like Shopify is a much better route, because then the other thing is that they house the customer data. You're not liable for it. So again, I've got all this useless information in my head in terms of best practices and things to do and ways you can get into trouble and ways to stay out of trouble. That's what I'm just trying to share here. So again, everybody who's here, we have very few people left. I've bored everybody to death. You've had trouble with sites on Bluehost being compromised. Absolutely. Because what will happen is it had nothing to do with the site itself, like the individual site. It had to do with the Chernobyl building being raided by the federales. Bluehost has a terrible policy too. If they find malware on your site, they just close your account 100%. And people can tunnel in because you're on the same tier. Like, you don't have the same level of security. You keep paying up and up and up to move into different blocks of the same gulag. So, yeah, and you're blocked from making. So here's the crazy thing that I found out when I started acquiring servers, and we have file servers here, and we have web servers, and we also have redundancy at AWS at multiple locations. Like, before I started doing that, I was totally unaware that like how much you can do with WHM and how much you can do with cPanel, because I was paying for stuff that's default, like upgrading my freaking what is it called, SQL, like updating, like they're all available for free. They're available because they want people to have the latest and greatest versions of it. So MySQL, what is it called? It's not Dig DNS. It is, of course, why did I have to think of one that I don't know? Hang on a sec. You got SQL, you've got the one that does HTTPS compliance. It gives you your own certificate, self-signed certificates. Why can't I think of the name of that right now? Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up in another window because I don't want to mess this up. Hang on a sec. It's going to take me like 1 second to figure it out once I'm here. List accounts. All right, it is called Let's Encrypt. Good Lord. So if you're paying, listen, if you're paying somebody for SSL, like a security certificate, that's the thing when you're on a website and you go up here and you're like, this site is secure, right? That is a self-signed, a lot of sites have self-signed certificates, so someone will verify that this is legit. They will be signing their own certificate or saying, yes, this certificate is valid, which will give you basic security, like SSL compliance, but it will still show up if you're not, like, let's find a site that doesn't have it. Let's go to, good Lord, I don't want to call anybody out, so let's just go to, let's see if I can find one, because Portland is probably good. Portland based, God, weed is definitely going to be covered, but Portland based thrift store reseller. So probably bottom line reseller. I want seconds PDX. Okay, let's see what this is. This is not bad. This looks pretty rough. That's kind of what I was looking for. This connection is secure. So let's see. The certificate is valid. Common name. I want PDX. Is not part of the certificate. They use Let's Encrypt. There you go. That's exactly what it is. So Let's Encrypt. So this is a certificate that refreshes every few months. And so it just verifies that it is a secure site, but it's self-signed. So once you start getting deeper into more and more security requirements, that's not gonna, it's gonna start to get flagged at a certain point. Every time you buy an SSL certificate from like GoDaddy or whomever, you're getting that Let's Encrypt version. It's free. It's free. You can do that through cPanel. But I've worked with a lot of clients, or a lot of the server companies that I work with restricted our access to this SSL, so we were having to buy. Like we were using A Small Orange back in 2003, 2007 in time period, and they were all charging for SSL. So every client we had, they're like, okay, it's $79, it's $99, it's $129. And that could happen every 3 months, 6 months, every year, but it's free. That's Let's Encrypt. So a lot of these services are cut off from these, hang on a sec. I just lost it. There we go. Remember when SSL hurts? Yes, because again, the more valid the certificate, the higher the cost. You don't want to pay for one of those cheap $79 certificates because it won't offer you this whatever. You're going to have to pay $569 a year for this. Or you can buy it in a bundle. We'll sell you 2 for $1,000. Yes, 100% remember that. Because when I was working with the corporate ones, I had to trust, we had internal IT. And so I don't know all of this. I didn't know this was happening. I just knew that these fees were part of my budget. And so I'm like, good Lord. How secure are they? They're all secure. So here's the thing. What will happen is, especially on a site that 90, I think almost all sites need HTTPS. Like a lot of sites used HTTP, but now you need them to be HTTPS. So you can still load an HTTP site, but you'll get like, this site cannot be, or this site needs to be verified, or you want to take a look at the certificate. That happens on Safari a lot. If I were to go into something that was on Safari, let's go to, good Lord, I know all of those are good. Let's see. Come on. Let's see if N4G is. Oh, you know what? That would be pretty interesting. So you'll see this little lock at the top of the screen. Hang on a sec. Let's get up here. You'll see the little lock at the top of the screen. That means that site's secure. It's using, hang on a sec, encryption with a digital certificate. Show the certificate. This is valid. But you'll start to see the details of these things broken out in here. It's a Google certificate. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Okay. Let's get into something that's not. Let's find. I wish I surfed the internet like I did in the past. Because I'd have a bunch of websites. Let's go. I just don't know websites. Disney fan clubs, Portland. Disney groups. This is Meetup. That's probably legit. D23 might not be. Nope, that one has a lock. Oh my God, what the hell? What in the name? Okay. I was hoping to find something that was really junky. Pacific Northwest. Okay, now come on. That's Disney. I'm looking for something that would have... Okay. Nope, these are all good. But again, most sites require HTTP, or they all do. Like Google requires it. This one, Safari requires it. They generally do. So they will show up like, this can't be loaded, or it could be hiding malware, or can't be verified. So it gives you, the Let's Encrypt gives you the basic level to be like, this is a verified site. It's self-signed. It's on a server that's been verified. They have to go through a few protocols for that. But it's the basic amount of compliance. When you're talking about real security, hang on a sec. Thank you. I kind of know a little, but I'm always learning. Yeah. So here's the thing. That's why when we started taking over servers and using servers for clients, like individual clients, we have a couple clients that have their own server. And when we started working with Nike and Adidas, they mandated that those files would never cross. So we had to set up individual servers for each client. So we were managing servers and the maintenance and upkeep and security for all of them. So this is a Sprint car site. What is a Sprint? Okay, hang on a sec. Maybe a Sprint car site has it. Sprint car website. I'm looking for something that has no image in the front. That's usually a way you can tell, like this. Usually you can tell that they're bunk. Nope, they're secure. Or like they haven't done their things. Like All-Star Sprints might be one of them. There we go. We got one. We got it. We've made it happen. Okay. So this is not secure. It does say it uses HTTPS, but it probably doesn't. It doesn't use HTTPS. Let's see if this opens in the same way in Safari. Thank you, Mammy. You're super awesome. Always helpful. Okay, let's see if that opens up wrong too. Okay, great. So this is what happens when it's not. So this website may be in. Let's see. Safari warns you when a website is a certificate that's not valid. There's a couple reasons the certificate may not be valid. We've had this happen a lot. Okay, so what is this Q&A for cybersecurity or website reviews? I just got to the stream round. So here's the deal. Not Cords Boy. If you have any, like, I had a meeting get canceled, so I had some free time. I still have some time, but if you have domain questions, website question, like if you want to start a website or have a website that's problematic or just any general questions, this is like for free. I'm throwing advice and knowledge out to people, like to be like, here's things that you, like if you're stuck in a situation like with GoDaddy or Wix or Squarespace where you're like, they just charged me another $700 for some reason. I'm here to help you get unstuck because a lot of people don't have nerds like me in their life. What I mean by that is just incredibly attractive, brilliant, people that don't talk about this very often. So if you have any questions, not Cords Boy, in terms of, it's not even website review, it's just helping people through navigating either getting out of a situation they're in, starting up a new website, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. Just, yeah, I got knowledge, ex-game developer, or started in game development, went into retail, went into websites, and now I've got this like panoply of disparate information that I'm interested in a lot of things. Now they call it ADHD, but before they used to call it, what are you going to do with your life? Anyway, so here's the deal. You can view the certificate. So All-Star Sprint, it's GoDaddy. GoDaddy, I love it. Okay, so GoDaddy is awful. We all know that. Cool stuff then. I have a few websites that I'm self-hosting currently, but I don't currently have any issues. No, that's totally cool. So again, the whole idea is this, is just to help people that I've had people reach out on some of my posts and they're like, I'm in a situation where I lost access to my site. And I'm like, where is it? And they're like, somebody else has it. I'm like, okay, well, that's problematic. But if like I can't get access, GoDaddy won't help me, or I have my domains at GoDaddy and I need to move them out, like that's the stuff I can help with, because that's a nightmare for most folks, but it's the stuff that I work on a lot, and I know how to kind of circumvent things that makes it a lot less painful, painless, a lot more painful. Not so here's the deal. This is using it's a GoDaddy certificate. It expires on the 25th, so it's just not configured correctly. What? This is just not configured properly. So this is what that looks like. And here, let's go to common name invalid. So this has happened to us. Like when I will develop a website internally. So we will develop an internal, like if we're starting from scratch with somebody, we will develop a website using an internal server with an internal URL. And sometimes when we move that, we do a database replace where we replace the internal server name with the website name. So we would be like internal machine 20/45 whatever, that's what the internal machine name is. But when we go live, like we're doing allstarsprint.com, we replace the server name with allstarsprint.com. Sometimes this occurs, like there's a mismatch because there's still some reference to the internal server and the new domain. So this is not unusual. This can happen to a site that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to go into Safari because I don't trust this to be, there we go. We're going to say okay. So we're going to say visit this website. So this looks just like it's not HTTPS compliant. So this is not private. I'm going to visit the website. Okay. It's even better. It doesn't even exist. So there's a certificate for a website that doesn't exist anymore. So the site went down, but the certificate's still in place. So this is going to a, that's so good. That's so good. Like when, thank goodness that GoDaddy doesn't like domains isn't their business. Okay. The reason this is so funny is if this is a parked domain, all GoDaddy needs to do is when the domain goes to park status, clear out the DNS record, clear out the record for the freaking SSL, like get rid of it. GoDaddy themselves just suck at configuring their own domains. That is true. This is insane because it's like now the domain looks toxic. So say if I were trying to buy this domain, I'm like, oh, it's available, and I go to it and it's like, this was part of, like, as a general user, I'm like, was this part of a cyber attack? Was this raided by the Russians? Well, I have no idea. But I see that big like alert of like, wah, big klaxon. This is not private, and it's just a freaking parked domain. That's ridiculous. That's funny. But you're right, Chords boy. GoDaddy it's a Minotaur's maze over there that constantly shifts and changes. Because I've worked with GoDaddy for 15 years, since before Tara Patrick was with them. Like I've worked with them forever, and it's like some of the old stuff is still there and some of the new stuff is not in compliance, and they're constantly changing the UI. Like take a look at this new thing that restricts you. Like when I was trying to unlock domains, I was trying to unlock domains for a client, and I was trying to do it bulk. And when I started the process, we were using the old UI. So I'm like, okay, we can unlock multiple. Well, that failed. We were not able to pick up that project again for a couple months. So 6 months later, we come back in. There was no way to multiple select domains with the new UI. So we had to go through a series of menus to find our way back to the old UI, which was still in place and still existed, so we could highlight multiple domains. So it's a nightmare. It's like, it's going to get more and more complex. So, Mammy, the one thing that you want to do is when you see a website like this, when you see All-Star Sprint, this is just not HTTPS compliant. So here's the thing. You'll see this, it's crossed out. So it's got, I mean, it's been a couple years, but websites needed to go and use this secure protocol. And if you aren't, then it's showing up as not secure. So it could be as simple as that. But what we've just found out, that it's just a parked domain that still has its old certificate in place, which is nutso cuckoo pants. Anyways, so again, this is the stuff that I'd like to help people out with. Like if you have questions about that, Mammy, I can give you a modicum of info. And not Chords boy, you don't hear it enough. If you are managing and self-hosting websites, you do not get enough kudos for it. There is a ton to it. I'm proud of you. I don't know what you do, unless you're scamming people. That would suck. But I don't think that's what you're doing, because nobody does this for like, I can't wait to work on websites my whole life. I can't wait to know all this stuff about DNS entries. I can't wait to know about Dig DNS. No, actually, that's a good question. So here's the thing. There's so many ways to do this. Let's go back one step. I'll show you one more thing before I leave. Okay, All-Star Sprint. All right, DNS records. They're the connectivity. They're the connective tissue for your website. So DNS. So you can do a little bit. Hey, seriously, Course Boy, I've worked. It's a thankless job. It's like they only care about you when something's not working, and then it's always your fault. That's not how it works. So anytime I can talk to somebody, you, Progressive Geek, anybody in tech, I'm going to say, thank you. Thank you for your service. You get my military level. Thank you for your service. Thank you for helping people out. So here's the thing. When you want to find out who owns a domain, you can use the whois, right? It's the ICANN whois service. This is not ICANN, but you can find out who owns. Let's see if we can find out who owns that one. All-Star Sprint. It's going to be GoDaddy. We know who owns it. Yeah, so GoDaddy. You can find out who it is. And a lot of this is kind of blocked now because there's privacy. But the whois, it shows you, yeah, and it registered. It expired. It just expired on 2/11. So it's recently free still. But if you want to find out who somebody is, you can go into whois or ICANN. Whois. Now, when you go into here, this will show you probably similar information. Let's make sure it does. I just don't want to be a liar. Oh, please, don't do that. So here's how you can find out a little bit of information. So if you lose a domain, like I don't know where it was housed, you can usually find it here. So if you lost control and you're like, I don't have that anymore. We've had clients that lost access to their domain and their email. Like they lost, like Hollywood Video closed down. They signed up for the domain through Hollywood Video. How in the world do you get that back? And so there are ways that you can do it. This is the start though. Meanwhile, me with my massive user base of 5 people. Yeah, I know. But those 5 people, can be tough. I was on the story, how I learned about EIG. We were in a hockey tournament in Canada. I was outside the country in 2015. And we had been with this EIG company. It was called A Small Orange, but it was independently run. And we had customer support. We would talk to them directly. They managed servers. So it may have been 2013. Anyways, we were with A Small Orange. I was out of the country at a hockey tournament, and it was right after Christmas, so between Christmas and New Year's. And I got a call on the 26th or 27th from like our #1 client, a very big client. It wasn't Nike, it wasn't Adidas, it was just this company on the East Coast. And it said, site's down. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'll take a look at it. It's like the second period of my kid's hockey game. And it's a tournament, so we're up there the whole week. And then I get another text, site's down, site's down. Like all of the sites that I managed were down. And I'm like, okay. Try to contact A Small Orange, couldn't get a hold of them. Wound up finding, I got tier 3 support because we had paid for it. Wound up getting them via my, iPhone 4 at the time. I can't even remember what it was. But it's just like, what's going on? They're like, there was a flood in Texas. And I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea. There's a flood in Texas. We're in Canada. I have to take this guy's word for it. And so I tell my clients, I'm like, listen, there's an issue at the server housing. We do have redundancy, but we're going to let them settle this. We're sorry. It's between Christmas and New Year's. We're working on it. And then I start to dig into it. Once the game's over, go back to the hotel. I'm on it, figuring out what's going on. And there was some flooding in Texas, but not where the server's supposed to be. And they're like, well, your server was moved from Texas to Alpharetta. I'm like, what? When did that happen? When did my server move to freaking Alpharetta? Because it was in Texas and we had redundancy in Chicago or Idaho or somewhere, wherever the AWS redundancy was. Like, no, it's an Alpharetta. It got moved. It took me 3 days to figure out that A Small Orange had been sold to EIG, and they had just shifted the servers. They were trying to migrate the servers or all the data between Christmas and New Year's and took everybody offline. And they lied to us, and I, in turn, lied to my customers because I was like passing on information that I assumed was legit. And at that point is when I'm like, nope, we're never doing that again. Everything is going to be, yeah, freaking crazy. Because my entire reputation of what I was doing was based on this client that I assumed everything was status quo. So this is when I found out what EIG was doing. And we had domains. We had a local domain company here, domain.com. It was in Vancouver, Washington. That got taken in. I had no idea those things were happening. EIG was just like the big tower in Half-Life 2 that just keeps stretching out and absorbing everything. Hello, Sonic. So here's the last thing I want to do. Sonic, I'm just helping people with domain and website help. So here's the thing. You can find out if you've lost your domain, you can find it out through these lookups, like whois, do a whois search. But if you're really interested, I use the Google Toolbox. There's a ton of these. There's 8 million of them. But if you want to find out what really makes a website tick, and there's plugins for this too. Okay, so I'm putting it in All-Star Sprint, the one that's damaged. So now we can see that these are the IPs. So that's probably, let's see what the NS records are. The GoDaddy, most likely, which are, yep, they're GoDaddy. So you can find out what their NS records, what mail they're using, which of course those records are stripped. DS records, which are like basically any keys and CNAMEs. So this is, they stripped everything except the SSL record is still in place for that domain. Okay, so now let's go to a website that does exist. Let's go to reddit.com. And you'll see there's a multitude of IPs because they're probably like shifting or rolling, and they have multiple like A records that kind of for failover. So this is all of their A records, but then they'll have, these are IP6 records, so basically higher secure records. So this is like your base level. A is like your at record, your www record. This is kind of the control record, but this one is the secure record. I have returned from my recurring Thursday appointment to find that you've been streaming. Yes, this is a impromptu. This is impromptu because I had a meeting get canceled. And so I was like, instead of sitting around for an hour and a half until the next thing, I wanted to get this, like, to share some information like a jerk. But you'll see, like, whatever records are on file, whatever NS records they're using. So you can kind of dig in and find out these, like Reddit uses Google. Like, that's what their mail servers are. So you can get a lot of information, like detective work. This is kind of one of the things I love, Chords Boy, and maybe you do too. One of the things I love when a new client comes in and they have a problem, it's kind of like, it's probably a bit of autism, but you know when somebody has like a tangled chain, I'm like, give me that. Or someone goes, here's some tangled wire. Here's some assorted lengths of wire. I'm like, let me sort those out. I love that stuff. I like puzzles. This is like untangling wire. So once you're in the Google admin, you're going to say something. By the way, these kinds of stories are one of the many reasons why I use my own hardware to host. Yes. Obviously doesn't scale with more traffic, but I think I would be able to afford upgrades at that point. Yes, 100%, because now you're liable, like you're responsible. And it's a lot to undertake, but you're also not, like when the site goes down, you're like, oh, it's turned off, someone powered it off, or it's on fire. I can see those things. But if you have to call somebody and be like, hello? Oh, it's underwater in a part of the country at this time of year, at this time of day, localized entirely within Austin, Texas. Can I see it? Okay. Yeah, you don't have that to pass on to your clients. And again, when we had Nike and Adidas, I couldn't have those hosted at a server farm. I had to have those here. And so that was kind of the birth of me doing all of this, like getting in there and being kind of scared of, oh my God, that's a huge undertaking. How do I learn about RAID configurations on a file server? Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. I'm so glad you got that. That's beautiful. But anyways, yes, I like the discovery of this. I like, again, when I can help a client. This is the reason I'm doing this stream right now, is because I like being able to help somebody get out of a situation that's terrible into a situation where they're like, wow, I had no idea how bad it was. RAID, yes, 100%. And again, I've had so many drives fail. Hello to you, Chords Boy. Please join Neil and I for PSA for normal live streams. Yeah, I do gaming live streams too, but this is, as I said, this was a spur of the moment. Sonic has been nothing. He's a moderator on YouTube and just a great friend to have. So Sonic's true. Anyways, The idea is I love getting people out of sticky situations into situations where like it's like being the best boyfriend after an abusive relationship. Even if you were a saint, someone was through an abusive relationship, you're not going to be trusted at all because there's damage and you have to kind of help to repair the damage, help to repair that individual. And then once that person is repaired and they see like, oh, this is awesome. This is the way it's supposed to be. The feeling of that, like these are clients. I'm comparing them to rescuing dogs. But it's the feeling of like a dog coming up to you for the first time and like, will you pet me? That's kind of what it is. Like they regain their trust and you're like, yeah, now you're once bitten, twice shy. You aren't going to get into a situation like that down the road. So if I'm gone, like my web services aren't there anymore, you have the knowledge and the power to take care of yourself a little bit more and know that these things are important, right? To have like somebody who's got your back. And so that's kind of what's really cool about you, Coolidge Boy, that you have 5 people. That's freaking awesome. You have 5 sites. 3 of them could be your own. Like I always say like I run 50 plus websites. I say that, but 20 of them are like sites that I'm using for development purposes. Like they're my own. But it doesn't make it any less important that I'm helping 20 plus other folks with their, with making sure that they have the best environment possible. And what kills me, oh God, this is the worst. And this is bad. I've worked with corporations enough. So I've worked with, this is about plant breeding. I feel terrible. We lost Stone Gardening as soon as we started. We had her here for a little bit. And I had plant breeding. I was very excited to have that. So get out of there. We had worked with the client. Their services. So they were not an IT company. This is the worst name. No, it's no problem, Sonic. You're the best. Their business was, this is their words, not mine, human capital. That sounds like a lot of steps to say slave ship. Human capital. I don't like that. So we helped this human capital company. They had internal IT. So they were a large company. They were $1 billion corporation. I think $3 billion corporation. So they had acquired or had an internal IT, not in the same location, but they were forced to use their internal IT. So when they developed their website, the internal IT had to manage all DNS records. They had to manage everything. So if they wanted to do marketing campaigns or connect HubSpot or do anything that involved the DNS or having control over the site, like upgrades, adding new functionality, adding a new plugin, all had to be done through a bureaucracy of an IT company that wasn't even connected, wasn't even in the same building. So I flew out to the East Coast, met with their IT, met with their entire marketing team, pitched this whole thing of like, here's what we're going to do. They can manage everything except for the A record. They can manage all the other records. I just need the A record. So we'll set that up. We'll set it up through Cloudflare or something like that. But we want to be able to manage a few of these things because we're going to pick the core website and put it on a server outside of it. Speaking of getting clients for web development, how in the frick do you get them? Yeah, so this is exactly how you do it. Like, nothing is more boring than going out to a social gathering and being like, I talk about websites. They don't care. It's solving a pain point. So here's the thing. Getting clients for web development, if you're local, like, you've got to do, like, one of the things, give us your credit card number and he'll fix any virus on your PC. That's true. Oh my God, we got everybody here now. Arconis is here. Excellent. Yeah, the thing is, if you're trying to get a client, one of the things I hate is when an agency just goes around, finds a bunch of local businesses, which you can through the Chamber of Commerce. Just get a list of local businesses, get their URLs, and then bulk mail them like, we can help you market your website. We saw your website and we want to help you market your website. That is awful. However, about 70% of that, it can be used by people who are not a-holes. So you can go to your Chamber of Commerce, local, right? Local Chamber of Commerce, get a list of local businesses. Then find businesses that are in very, very bad shape. Like there's a window company here that was not even showing up on Google business listings. So I was like, hey, I was trying to get windows done. And I noticed, this is so nefarious, but it's how you do it. This is how you start the relationship. I was trying to get windows done, and I noticed that your window company is run by, I thought you were called this window company, but it looks like you're owned by, I can't remember what the big, like Reynolds Window Company, whatever. It's owned by a large window company. Who's a large window manufacturer? Somebody help me. God dang it. I feel so dumb sometimes when I'm like, what is the, give me a window company, large window manufacturer. It was, come on, it's going to show up right away. Of course it doesn't. Don't allow. Anderson Window Mechanics. So Anderson Windows, it's like Marvin and Milgard, they make all these parts. So anyways, they weren't even showing up on Google. So I reached out and said, hey, you guys aren't even showing up on Google. I was going to get some stuff done. They're like, oh yeah, our website, and like we have trouble with that. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I can help you with that if you're interested, whatever. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But it starts that conversation where you find a problem indirectly related to their web stuff. Like I can get you up on Google business listings was the offer. And then I said, here's what it's going to cost. It's going to cost you a couple $100 because you have to go in there and we have to do the postcard mailing, whatever. And I'm going to be an ambassador for you for like, seriously, 3 hours total. But it's 3 hours across 2 weeks. So you're in top of mind. So it's like $500 to do. And they're like, yeah, forget it. It's too expensive. I'm like, really? You don't care about your business? That's fine. I'm totally fine with it. But that's how you do it. Chamber of Commerce, find some local businesses, then kind of go through and find whatever their struggle is, and then try to solve it. We did that for like a auto repair center. We did that for window companies. That's the problem. They're one-off clients. So what I try to do is like with the one-off clients, I like service, like the auto repair center deals with so many people coming through. So my whole deal with that company, and I'm sorry, I'm just giving you the heads up, you asked, I would go to that car company and be like, hey, I'm popping in, I brought these donuts in for everybody, because there's a Sesame Donuts right down the road. I'm like, here, I've got these donuts for everybody. Just want to talk about website real quick. So I got ingratiated with everybody there. And so when people come through, someone's talking about a website or you're top of mind that day, you're in there, that's local, you start to get known in that regard. So they'll start sharing your name. That's kind of the unfortunate, that's a long, the Chamber of Commerce thing can be done in a day. You can just reach out to them, get local businesses, or go on your local Chamber of Commerce site and find them. The other one is a little longer play because they're going to be your ambassadors. The auto collision place had churn, which we weren't aware of. That's the problem with every major client like that. Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, all of these big clients that we've worked with. As soon as the people that you work with don't work there anymore, they don't care. They don't talk about it. 2 days left. We got the countdown. You're going to do that over the weekend. Oh, I will be there. Our radio, I will be there. Oh, that is awesome. 2 days left. Let's count it down. Anderson, Mammy, you are awesome. You were ahead of it before I was. Anderson Windows, yes. I didn't even think of using the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, so that's a short. But the problem with that, Coors Boy, is this. It's a one-off, right? So if you're getting a yearly client out of it, great. Hosting, servicing, awesome. Killer. The thing I'm looking for is like, and I don't want exponential growth. I don't want 1,000 clients. I don't want 100 clients. I want the clients that I can serve best and in the best way possible. And a lot of times these individual clients will just constantly suck up most of the time, either getting them on board or having certain questions. So it's a double-edged sword. So mileage may vary, but you might find a great client out of it, right? And I'm super happy to help. And again, that's the kind of stuff, maybe I'll do more of these. Oh, dude, radio, I knew exactly what you were talking about. I knew exactly what you were talking about. I'm very excited about this. I've been getting looked into by the man, because I keep getting restricted. My content keeps getting restricted. And it's been since I started doing live streams, they've been restricted. But my content now is getting restricted, and I don't know why. Oh, and followers. I'm still following you, our radio, but Mammy, no. Like that, like for some reason, I'm not following her anymore. And I've tried to follow her back, and it reverts back to the other. I don't know what's going on there. How to ask a question. Just type it in. Send it out. Aboda. Aboda is going to ask a question. Again, domains, websites, hosting, email, records, SSL. It's all on the table. Talk about whatever you want. Ask a question in the comments. And here's good. I'm glad I didn't have an interview session here because I was going to bring people in on the interview. It wouldn't have worked. I think the maximum people I've had here was 12. So you got your hates? Oh, yeah, dude, it's terrible. It's really bad because I posted two back-to-back. So I did the Shawshank Redemption video. I broke it into 2 parts, and both were blocked within 20 minutes. Both were restricted within 20 minutes. I'm like, what? There's no swearing in these. There's no freaking negativity in these. And it's all like very, nope, restricted. Restricted, restricted, restricted. And it's driving me bonkers. You've got your hats, not hates. Okay, now I don't understand. If you've got your hates, what's up? TikTok upgrades. I've got my hats. What the hell? What are your hats? Now I'm confused. Welcome, Aboda. Welcome to our live stream. What would you like to ask? Yeah, feel free to ask any question you got. Because I have got, let's see what I got here. I can open up another, let me open up a browser again just so I have it open and ready to go. Here's my cPanel. Let's do it. We're opening up cPanel. We've done it. And again, super happy I like that this has been such a good conversation. We've got some web developers in here. We've got some programmers in here. Our radio hats. Oh, you got hats, like merch. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see them. Oh, after this, I got 2 things. I got the Mammy situation and I got our radio merch. If you aren't following our radio here and if you're on TikTok, he's got merchandise now. I'll take a look at them. If it's good, I'll ask you where you got them. I'm using right now, who am I using? Who in the hell am I using? This is terrible. They emailed me like 400 times a day. And they're like, would you like to buy? We got this going on. Hang on a second, some of my text messages. I will take a look at it. If you did a TikTok on them, I'll check it out. Is it Sticker Mule? It's Sticker Mule. That's why I couldn't remember. So I use Sticker Mule for my shirts. So the first class package shirts, that's all Sticker Mule. I'm typing and it's not showing. Hey, Sonic, it looks like Aboda might have, I don't know if we have it restricted to US or not. Aboda, let's see, how can we get that to you? How can we get you to, is there any way, Sonic, for you to see what Aboda is sending? I'll see if I can get into here. Hang on a sec. And if anybody missed the early part of the stream, it was very important. We got some very important information about Google and Google Chrome. Hang on a sec. I'm going to see if Aboda, if I can find anything in here from you. Are you the same guy that devised those indelible stickers for the rental places on the game discs? I hate modern gaming hardware. Okay, so good. We got good. Let's see. I don't see it. Okay, so I don't see anything in the stream. So Sonic, hopefully you can find something on this. I apologize, Aboda, that you can't send a message, but Game Boy got updated. Well, we're trying to get a question, and we'll talk about gaming tonight. But I'm trying to get, let's go view channel. Aboda, I'm seeing if I can find any other way for me to get your info. Live. 1 second. Can I pop out the chat? I'm trying to mute this. No, I can't. I can't do it. So unless, Aboda, let's see. How can we get you to send me a question? You know what? I should probably get a Google form here for it. Well, maybe I can, shoot. I'm almost afraid. Our radio, Roger, sorry I didn't say hello. I'm cooking dinner. Cooking dinner? Holy cow, what time is it? Are you on the East Coast? Oh my gosh. It's getting late over there. Aboda, let's see. Can you send it into the channel? I think I have my email address is there. If you can send that in, I can take a look at it. I added a segment in my DJing called Storytime. Awesome. You always have great, great guests coming in there too. His YouTube chat messages are coming through as his retractions. However, I do not see any questions submitted. So, Aboda, it looks like there aren't any questions being submitted, or like they aren't coming through at all. So if you want to break those into smaller chunks, I need to host a Telegram website on my local LAN. Okay, so that's getting into the weeds. We'll talk about server configuration. Neil, can he message you under your general Discord? Absolutely, if they have Discord. But they're looking to host a Telegram website on his local. So yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier. We have a development server in-house that we use, but my guess is that you want it to be available public facing. So it's an internal LAN, the local area network. Do you want it to be public facing, or is it strictly used internal? That's the only question. If you want it to be internal only, yes, you can gate certain, like, again, depending on how large your local LAN is. If it's in one residence, or does it go out beyond a single residence? Like, what's the radius of that? There's a bunch of questions. 4:36 starting dinner. You are very, very ahead of it. Mammy, I'm like, oh my God, is it 8 o'clock? I got to make dinner. That's where I usually am. So in terms of Telegram, Telegram probably requires its own APIs and calls, because school gave us a Samsung tablet, because my school gave us a Samsung tablet and they have Start Knox 1. So, so you're looking to, okay. You're looking to create like a proxy for your, so you want to use your school tablet and then have a proxy to a Telegram, like a private Telegram messaging service that you can access. Okay, that's a really interesting one. Avoda, that's actually a really interesting one, because you can, the school variable is tough, because I've worked with my son's Chromebook. Those are garbage. And we live in a nice area that have relatively decent Chromebooks. They're like from, I think, 2020, 2021, but they're still so like locked down. I have no idea what your tablets are, but I think you might be actually, can you install anything on those tablets at all? Can you, I know you can sideload on an Android, but is that locked out? This is you got me interested. If you can sideload, then yes, there's options. But if they've locked that out, then it's going to be really, it's going to be super specialized. I must go eat. Everyone have a great day. Mammy, if you see me follow you, I'm going to immediately text you. But that's what this is all about. It's like I'm trying to get the people that, for some reason, I'm not following anymore. I'm trying to refriend them. We'll see what happens. Okay, our radio. I'm going to check out your merch. Aboda, I'm going to see if you can sideload. I'll come back. I'm going to be doing this again. This was a pretty good stream. We had like multiple platforms, multiple interests. I guess like new comments. I can open, see your, okay, so you can open a proxy. Okay, so you can do a proxy, but can you sideload anything onto it? Like, can you install an APK? Because that's going to be, okay, you can download files. Yep, these are, yep. So you can open a proxy, you can download files. Can you install them? That's the only piece that I'm missing. So once I know that, that's a good, I really appreciate it. Aboda, this is a really good, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, because it could be Aboda or Aboda. It could be any of those things. I'm not sure. Yes. Well, make sure your dinner doesn't burn. But yeah, that's my number one. And then number two is going to look at our radio's merch. And then, yeah, we're going to get, as I said, we'll do more of these because I created a graphic for it. I was very happy that we have this many people in on this thing. And Sonic, I just did this out of, opportunity, I guess, because I had the time. And let's see, one more question. We had Arcona saying, I'm too tired for this. Meh. Neil, Game Boy just got updated. What got updated on Game Boy? Oh, it's in Arabic. Okay. Okay. All right. So that crimps it down. You've given me things to think about here, Boda. I'm gonna have to, because I'm jumping off here because I only had an hour and a half. So I'm gonna get out. I'll be on tonight doing a game stream, but I've got this marked down as well. First things first, Mimi, then radio, and then a Boda. I'm gonna take a look and see if there's a, because I haven't done a Telegram like specific, because I'm sure there's APIs and connectivity that you can set up your Telegram, and we've done like we do local LAN stuff all the time. The challenges are, the variables are Samsung tablet, so it's Android. No, we just have to find a way to proxy through it. So that's super detailed. Like that's, a lot of the other questions are like more, yeah, like how do I get my domain out of somewhere? Or like I'm having trouble accessing like my DNS records. This one's like, I need to, like, it's double plus Sonic. I'm going to focus because I don't use, good Lord, Sam was on here earlier and I was like, I don't even know what my Discord is. Sonic, help this gentleman or gentle person or lady person or whatever, your Discord or any way to contact you. It's double plus, hang on a sec, what the hell is it? Discord. I've got it. Hang on a sec, what is it? It is double plus. See, I can't even figure this out. Invite people. It's double plus. Copy. There we go. All right, it's in the chat. Perfect. All right, and with that, I just put it into comments. So with that, I will see everybody later on tonight. Thank you so much for your patience and for your questions, everybody. See you in the next one.